The Flint City Council prepares to meet. We're going to show you what's on tonight's agenda.
A public forum on the planned mega site in Mundy Township, a preview of this week's event at Mott Community College.
And the snow is back, and that means so are the plows. What the state wants you to know about sharing the road with them.
Thanks for joining us for this TV5 Morning Extra. I'm Lauren Piesco.
And I'm Christine Winter. Let's get a check now from First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondrum. We've talked all morning about slick and icy roads out there, overpasses, side streets.
Yeah, Christine, Lauren, we are tracking that for this morning, especially anywhere downwind of the Saginaw Bay. Some places like Saginaw and Vassar, even around Otisville, Clio, Montrose, and Chesaning this morning, all seeing some slick areas. So even down towards northern Genesee County, we're seeing this too. Some of those drive times are being delayed by up to 10 or even 15 minutes. Especially bridges and overpasses are one thing you'll want to be cautious on this morning. There's a live look at US 10 from the Fabiano Brothers building this morning. This is US 10 and Mackinac Road. You can see there in the parking lot of the Fabiano Brothers building that very light coating of snowfall as well. You will encounter some parking lots that look like that this morning, and with temps that have fallen down to the low to mid 20s, it definitely is very cold. So this cold weather is allowing that snow to stick to the ground. Wind chills out the door this morning too. Single digits for some areas, 6 degrees for the wind chill at MBS Airport and in Elma currently this morning too. So as you head out the door, you are definitely going to want to make sure you are bundled up. Our high temps for today will reach up to about 32 degrees, and then from here we continue to warm up the rest of the week. We'll take a look at that extended forecast coming up soon. Christine, Lauren, back to you.
All right, another traffic note for you in Tuscola County this morning. Work is expected to start today on the railroad crossing on M81. MDOT's investing more than $200,000 in that project, so M81 will be closed in each direction with detours to Frank Street and M24. Keep in mind that work is expected to end around Sunday, November 23rd.
Well, as we mentioned, yesterday marked Michigan's first snowfall of the season, and one Mid-Michigan towing company talked with our sister station in Lansing about how they're handling that first winter storm. PJ's Towing says they are already seeing the change in weather affect drivers, mostly taking calls about flat tires and low tire pressure.
It's been a little slow today. We're definitely kind of predicting that tonight into tomorrow morning will be a lot busier with the more accumulation coming in throughout the evening and in the morning.
Now, even if you have experienced a Michigan winter before, there is always something new we can learn. PJ's Towing advises people to give themselves enough time before they head out somewhere to check their tires and make sure you have enough visibility out on the roads.
Keep in mind, too, you must follow Michigan law when the plows are out. Stay at least 200 feet behind them. If you are going to pass a plow, you must do so on the left side. It is illegal to pass on the right while the plow is in service. If a snowplow is stationary on the side of the road, move over and slow down. Not doing these things could result in fines or penalties.
A heads up for those who receive unemployment. The Michigan Unemployment Insurance Agency offices will be closed tomorrow for Veterans Day. But you can still go online to certify work searches, access resources, and use the agency's chatbot to answer any general questions. Applying for benefits, certifying, and logging work searches online will be your quickest way to access benefits.
All right, happening today, a press conference previewing this week's public forum on the Mundy Township mega site in Genesee County. Pundit Bill Ballinger and former TV5 reporter Jim Kurtzner are expected to answer questions ahead of the debate on the controversial advanced manufacturing development. Stay with TV5 for updates. Now, the public forum takes place this Thursday at 7 p.m. at Ballinger Fieldhouse at Mott Community College on East Court Street in Flint.
The Flint City Council meets tonight at 5:30 at City Hall on South Saginaw Street. Now, council members will hear a final report for a petition to rezone multiple sections of land along the Lewis Street corridor to the Neighborhood Center District. For resolutions, the council will discuss the demolition and site remediation of the area around Fire Station Number 4. They'll also discuss testing for mold and other hazards and the air quality at the Flint Police Department. The City Council will also hear a resolution that would give officials authorization to include the approved changes in the city's 2026 budget.
A distributor in Grand Blanc Township is bringing one of America's oldest breweries to mid-Michigan. As of today, Yuengling beer is now available throughout the region. This launch was first limited to just Ann Arbor, East Lansing, and Detroit. But based on that success, it is expanding to the rest of the Lower Peninsula, and it comes through John P. O'Sullivan Distributing. And packaged beer is scheduled to be released in early 2026. All right, you are joining us live this morning for TV5 Morning Extra.
Today marking 50 years since the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald in Lake Superior. We'll hear from a Coast Guard member who responded to that scene 5 decades ago.
A food giveaway is happening in Saginaw tomorrow. When and where you can participate.
Miss a story? Catch up on our YouTube channel, and for the latest updates, like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Matthew will have your first alert forecast and what to expect coming up next.
Well, this Monday morning, we've been starting off with more of a winter wonderland across mid-Michigan, thanks to that fresh snow from yesterday and the lake effect that we were discussing in the forecast too. That definitely played out right here in the Bay region. So some of the snow totals that we have here for you this morning are actually somewhat impressive in a few spots. Freeland, 6 inches of snow, 4.5 in Shields, just under 3.5 in Tittabawassee Township, which is just south of MBS Airport. Bishop Airport, though, at the southern end of our area, just over 1.5 inches, right at 1.5 in Elba Township, and then just under 1.5 inches in Owasso. Elba Township is in western Lapeer County. So lower totals the farther south you went, but we were expecting that with yesterday's snow showers. Now this morning, we do have some slick spots left over as a result of some refreezing, especially bridges and overpasses. So I do want to first alert you to that. These drive times here this morning, especially around Vassar, Caro, Fairgrove, Akron, even around Saginaw and south towards Montrose, Flushing, and Chesaning, even around Otisville, pretty much this bubble where we had that lake effect late in the day yesterday, there is some slow travel this morning, so please drive carefully. By the afternoon today, we expect those drive times to improve. Now, the first alert pinpoint Doppler right now does have a little bit of very light lake effect in the thumb. That'll continue during much of the day today with that north wind coming right in off of Lake Huron. Then as we go into tonight, our wind backs to the northwest, so with more of a northwesterly wind tonight, it does bring a few lake effect flurries in for those usual spots up north and to the west. Now tomorrow morning is actually pretty quiet for all intensive purposes, but the afternoon tomorrow has a weak warm front moving through. So tomorrow we do expect some scattered snow showers to move through, but they should be pretty light, really only bringing a dusting, so nothing too significant is expected for our Tuesday afternoon, and then we should temporarily dry out into Tuesday night. Now looking ahead towards the upcoming weekend, by then warmer temps, but I am first alerting our deer hunters, which opening day for firearm deer season is Saturday. Well, we have made some changes to the forecast, adding some rain in between the 2 days. Sunday looks to be the rainier day as well, but our temperatures on the other hand still holding on somewhat mildly there. So after today, which is the coldest day of the week, we have 37 tomorrow, 44 on Wednesday, upper 40s near 50 by Thursday and Friday, and the 50s should hold on this weekend.
Matthew, thank you for those updates. Today marks 50 years since the Edmund Fitzgerald sank in Lake Superior, a storm that claimed 29 lives and stunned the Great Lakes.
TV5's Maggie Castraba shares the story of one man who went out that night searching for survivors.
On November 10th, 1975, when the skies of November turned gloomy, the Edmund Fitzgerald vanished beneath the dark waters of Lake Superior. 50 years later, the legend still echoes across the Great Lakes, and for those who went searching that night, the memories have never faded. Tony Hall was just 19 years old, stationed in Duluth aboard the Coast Guard cutter Woodrush. When word spread that his ship was missing, there was no hesitation. They loaded extra supplies, braced for what was ahead, and set out into the unknown.
We got a call, come over the radio, the TV stations, you know, all members of the Woodrush report back to the ship now. And then we kind of got an idea of what was going on, but we didn't know exactly. We just knew that we had to get going quickly.
The further they went, the worse it got. Winds howled and waves crashed, battering their 180-foot ship. Just walking from one end of the deck to the other was nearly impossible. And with every mile, the storm grew stronger.
Everybody was worried. If I told you we wasn't scared, I'd be lying. But we was all worried we wasn't coming back.
It took nearly 22 hours for the Woodrush to reach Whitefish Point. By then, the lake had swallowed everything, and no survivors were found. Days later, the grim reality set in. For Tony, that moment never left him.
That we couldn't save anybody. That was the hardest part. It just don't go away. And you know, I'm an old man now, and it's been with me a long time.
Now, decades later, Tony's mission hasn't changed. He still carries the weight of that night and the duty to make sure those 29 men are never forgotten.
It's about them. And even though they were in a storm, and they kept going. They had taconite to deliver, and they had a mission. And I just wish things could have been different. That's, you know, we all do.
Because for Tony Hall, the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald isn't just a story from the past. It's a promise to remember the men who never made it home. Reporting for TV5 News, I'm Maggie Castraba.
All right, in more local news now, community support in Saginaw. The Eastside Soup Kitchen is teaming up with the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan and Hidden Harvest for a drive-through food distribution that's happening tomorrow morning from 9 to 10:30 in the parking lot of the Soup Kitchen on East Genesee Avenue. Once again, this event is open to anyone in need while supplies last.
The Old Town Christian Outreach Center is kicking off its annual turkey collection drive, aiming to gather 600 turkeys to feed families in need. Donations can be dropped off Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. through November 21st at the church on Gratiot Avenue. The nonprofit will give away turkeys during its food distribution event on November 22nd. And let's get another check of that forecast with Matthew. As we've mentioned, depending on, you're fine driving, and then all of a sudden, boop, there's a slick patch.
Yeah, that's going to be especially anywhere downwind of the Saginaw Bay, so where we had that lake effect at the end of the day yesterday. Now for today, just a few isolated flurries, also a few just light scattered snow showers tomorrow afternoon, only expecting a dusting out of that tomorrow. But from here, we really are just going to warm back up through the end of the week, so eventually near 50 by Friday, and we are tracking some rain for the weekend, but also holding on to the 50s this weekend too.
All right, thanks so much for being live with us this morning and watching this updated report.
We hope you'll join us again for TV5 News at 9. Have a great day.